We're all gonna miss her.
Think of what they
Talk with them.
infectious.
Black rabbit. Black rabbit. I think that's a rabbit or cat or a dog, but that's a rabbit. That's the black rabbit. But I'm so sorry for that girl, man. She passed away. That's sad. Tay K, man. Tay K, man. Tay K, man. Something else, man.
She's never met a stranger. She was always nice to people. She would talk with them.
Just like her grandpa Bloss.
And no matter what, think of what they had, not what they lost.
We're all gonna miss her. And some people don't get to have their kids 20 years, so we have to be blessed with what we've had with her, time spent.
Jurors found Eric Johnson guilty of shooting Sarah Muschleckner on New Year's Day back in 2016. The Denton County District Attorney confirmed on Twitter that Johnson will be eligible for parole based on the sentence.
44 years sentence. Shit. You're gonna be, by the time you're gonna be like 60. How old are you now? 30? 20? So yeah, it was let's say 18, 20 years old plus 44. That's 66. You gotta come out 66. When you turn 66, you're gonna be old. And if you leave that 66, when you went outside, it's over. You're done. No. Why you did that, man?
After serving 22 years of the 44 I mentioned, the jury could have sent him to prison for life.
6 months later, Tay K
For life. Why you did that, man? Why? Why?
would make a decision that would forever alter his life. 17-year-old Zachary Bello and 21-year-old Ethan Walker were roommates in Mansfield, Texas. Zach's girlfriend believed the two were selling drugs and decided to plan a robbery on her own boyfriend. Word would get to 16-year-old Tay K, who then recruited a team to get the job done.
That's crazy.
3 girls went to the house, all aware of what was about to happen. As they spent time with the 2 roommates, they unlocked the doors to the house and the 4 robbers let themselves in. Over the next few minutes, Zach would be hit in the head with brass knuckles and shot in the shoulder, while Ethan was shot in the chest and left on the ground, gasping for air. Ethan would later die, and Zach knew he was set up by the girls because when the robbers walked in, the girls just got up and walked out, not even acting scared or surprised. But nobody planned for a double shooting or for Ethan to die. Police would quickly identify everyone involved, with Tay K being arrested at only 16 for participating in the home invasion robbery turned murder. Released on house arrest, Tay K would cut off his ankle monitor and go on the run.
That's crazy. That's how I make the song. I did the race.
A month later, 23-year-old Mark Saldivar was shot and killed in a Chick-fil-A parking lot.
New on the night beat, one man found dead in the middle of a parking lot of a North Side fast food restaurant following a shooting. As Pilar Arias reports tonight, police say the car the victim was riding in may also be the same vehicle the suspects took off in.
The parking lot of a Chick-fil-A turned crime scene. The restaurant closed for business like it usually is on Sundays. But that didn't stop witnesses and spectators from gathering to figure out what happened at the lot just across from North Star Mall early this evening.
So this is a shopping center. There were quite a few people out here, and the car drove through like everybody else, and as soon as they heard the noise, they all started looking.
Police now trying to find out how this all happened. Their sights set on a black 4-door car. They say the victim was riding in the car along with several other people police are now looking for. They had pulled in here just before 5:30. As far as investigators know at this point, the man was shot outside the vehicle, but they don't know what made him want to get out.
Investigators would learn Tay K and others picked up the photographer for a photo shoot at a local mall. While in the vehicle, Tay K and one of the other suspects pulled out guns, pistol whipped Mark, and took his backpack containing his equipment. Mark was forced out of the car, tried to get back in, and desperately jumped on the hood. That's when Tay K leaned out of the window and shot him dead. 2 months later, on June 30th, 2017, Tay K would drop his infamous song The Race And that same day, he'd be captured by
Such a savage, yo. This little nigga's a savage. Yeah, he's a fucking savage. This little nigga's a savage, yo. What the fuck?
U.S. Marshals in New Jersey. Tay K was now viral after dropping a song describing killing and being on the run, and going as far as showing his own wanted poster. The song will reach number 44 on the Hot 100 Billboard chart and currently sits at 251 million views on YouTube.
He cannot play it because he will get copyright. That's crazy. All about 6. Oh, that's his name? Tay K the Race. Oh, that's his YouTube name? I didn't know that.
But Tay K would never get to perform his hit song or experience anything from it. He'd only hear about it through jail calls and jail visits. Tay K would eventually be found guilty for his role in the home invasion murder of Ethan Walker. While he wasn't the shooter, the fact that he recruited the shooter would leave him with a 55-year prison sentence. Fast forward to 2025.
Damn, that nigga look old. He looking old already, but he's not even 40 yet. How old is he? Yo, he's getting old. More like stressed out. And he's not even like, he's young guy. He's a young dude.
Tay K would be sentenced to an additional.
You see this vein? The vein pop pow. Pop pow. Pow. Pop pow. I'm talking about it. Playboy Cardi. Pop pow. Pow. Pop pow.
Additional 80 years in prison for shooting and killing Mark.
I'm sorry.
Your punishment is to be assessed at 80 years in the prison. I don't know where your mom is. Don't know where your father is. I know that you had a rough childhood. And I do know that these offenses occurred when you were very young. And I do realize that while this is a lot of time, and I tell people all the time, any time that you do in custody is a lot of time. But by that same token, you're still alive. And what the state has said is true. You're still alive. You can still better yourself. If you end up in prison for the rest of your life, you're still alive. You still can improve yourself. Your family can still visit you. But the complainant in this case is deceased.
24-year-old Tay K.
Ooh. Damn. You're still alive. He don't care. She don't care. You're gonna be still alive in the jail, but you're not gonna be alive outside. That's crazy. That's hell. Oof, we gotta do the time. Damn. Why you did that, man? Shooting white girl. Shooting white people too. You're crazy. I know you're tired. You see? Tired. Oh, I said shit. That's my fault. And then she's thug life. She's a thug life. She's a savage. She don't give a fuck what she's thugging, boy.
Additional 80 years in prison
thugging.
for shooting and killing Mark.
Your punishment is to be assessed at 80 years in the prison.
80 years. Oof.
I don't know where your mom is. Don't know where your father is. I know that you had a rough childhood.
She said it, you see?
And I do know that these offenses occurred when you were very young. And I do realize that while this is a lot of time, and I tell people all the time, any time that you do in custody is a lot of time. But by that same token, you're still alive.
You're still alive. She don't care. By the next token, you're still alive. It's life or death. It's life or death. But their life is still stay in jail until you die. Oh, death is just like penalty, death penalty. You know what I mean? Execution and shit. That's crazy. That's Texas, right? Sheesh. Texas is nuts, man. Oof. Not. This is dope. That's just dope. Don't give a fuck.
And what the state has said is true. You're still alive. You can still better yourself. If you end up in prison for the rest of your life, you're still alive. You still can improve yourself.
Texas, I want to live there. This is chill vibe, Texas.
Your family can still visit you, but the complainant in this case is deceased.
24-year-old Tay K has been sentenced.
It's complimented, so this is 80 years of life, man, sentence in jail. After you pass your 80 years, you might not make it 80 years. You're gonna die in jail. Damn. He's 20 right now. 20 plus 80. It's like example, she's 20. 100 years. He's not gonna make it. Damn. He's gonna be in jail for life. No way. And then if he pass that number, that's miracle. We're just gonna live for 1 year or 6 months or 2 years, possible. And that's it. Outside. Oh no. Oh no. And then he's gonna be by himself. Everybody gonna die. His mom. He's gonna be by himself. And then he's gonna kill himself. I don't want that to happen. I don't want him to eliminate himself. He's gonna feel depressed. Oh no. I already read the future for him. Holy moly. Broccoli.
Sentenced to a total of 135 years in Texas State Prison. His sentencing will be run concurrent, meaning his 55-year sentence has pretty much been overruled by his 80-year sentence. Under Texas law, he'll be eligible for parole in his 60s. Things have already been rough for him, judging by the
You see the scar
on the side of his neck.
See? It's already rough front. I'm telling you. I've been told you before he said it. I was doing that shit right now. I'm in live stream right now. Right now.
Years in Texas State Prison. His sentencing will be run concurrent, meaning his 55-year sentence has pretty much been overruled by his 80-year sentence. Under Texas law, he'll be eligible for parole in his 60s.
When he's in 60s, he can ask for parole. But they're gonna deny it. They're gonna deny it.
Things have already been rough for him, judging by the scar on the side.
I said it before him. The scar. He's already 40 years old already.
Side of his neck that appears to be a slash from a razor. While his crimes can't be minimized, his life must be analyzed. Tay K was born to 2 gangbanging parents, raised in and out of foster care, and became a product of his parental influence. At only 16, far from mentally developed,
he was on it. He was on it for real. Pause. No DD. Pause. He was on it.
He made choices that have essentially ended his ability to experience a life in freedom. He's been deemed a threat to society, and now knowing his childhood, it can be determined he really never had a chance to live peacefully in society. One can only hope he finds peace in prison, learns from
got gang face on his face. He know he's like that. He know
his mistakes, asks forgiveness from his victims' families, and lives long enough to make parole. This is the reality of being a crash out.
Yeah,
and
he's a certified crash out for real.
He is a living example of what any teen could be if you're following down a similar path. Now, as sad as Tay K,
She's a savage, boy. She's a crash out, certified crash out.
his case is, it's even sadder what happened to Sarah, Zach, Ethan, Mark. You know what I mean? And when you hear what happened to them, you really lose any sympathy for him. This was a 16-year-old who was doomed from the start, that grew up to two gangbanging parents that didn't do shit for him, didn't provide anything for him. And then, you know, they tried to get their shit together. They tried to, you know, testify on his behalf, and it's done nothing for him. He was failed by his parents, 100%. And then he also failed himself. And he's only 24 years old, and he has all this time. 55 years in one case, 80 years in another case. He's not even 25. 80 years in another time. 55 years in one case, 80 years in another case. He's not even 25.
Oh shit. It's not, we got another case for 55 years again? Holy cat. Oh my god. In total, sheesh. I thought it was 180 years. Oy. But still, what the hell? Parole 2 is not gonna work. The second term they might decline it.
I'll be honest with you, I'd be surprised if he doesn't, you know?
Lose it.
Not a lot of people can sit there and do all that time and live a life knowing that there's not much to look forward to. Prison is a repetitive place where the same thing happens every single day. You're only gonna want to do so many seasons of that shit before you just give up on everything. There's no happiness. There's no woman by your side with a marriage. There's no, you know, like, yeah, you could do the whole writing letters and shit, but that ain't life. We aren't meant to be in prison. He makes it to his parole date, then what? He's 60-something years old. The only thing that Tay K can do for people is be an example of what not to be and be an example of what's to come if you're living like him. You want to go viral and post guns and show your wanted picture and this and that and be involved with fucking retarded people that do stupid shit that eventually leads to someone's death, then you end up like that. Or his friends that are doing 40 years, 20 years, 15 years, all of them got smoked. Every single person associated with him got smoked.
Damn.
All of them are in prison doing mad time, even the girls that set up the robbery.
Hey, that girl that set up the robbery too, that's crazy.
So it's like...
Plus they snitch on him. You see? Still get smoked, even if you snitch on him, I don't know.
As sad as it is to say, there are people put on this
I think
earth
snitch on him, right? I don't think so.
that you have to use as examples as what not to be. And Tay K is one of them. I don't want to paint him as a monster, which is why I wanted to break down his childhood and the things that have caused him to be the way that he is, and maybe he is no longer that way inside of prison. But by the time you end up in there with having to do forever, you really got to be that person in there because now you're in the most violent society. That's why you've been excluded from this one, the free one. But hey, let me know y'all thoughts and comments in the comment section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me. Till next time.
Damn, son.